Wrigley Field, Chicago. Wrigley Field is a historic baseball stadium located in Chicago, Illinois. It is the home of the Chicago Cubs, one of the oldest and most beloved teams in Major League Baseball, MLB. Wrigley Field, originally named Weeghman Park, was built in 1914 on the grounds of a former seminary. It was constructed for the Chicago Whales, a team in the short-lived Federal League. The stadium was designed by architect Zachary Taylor Davis in the neoclassical style. In 1916, the Federal League disbanded, and the Chicago Cubs purchased the stadium and renamed it Cubs Park. The first Cubs game at the ballpark took place on April 20, 1916. The team's owner, Charles Weeghman, made various improvements to the facility. In 1920, William Wrigley Jr., the chewing gum magnate and owner of the Cubs, acquired majority ownership of the team. He renamed the ballpark Wrigley Field in honor of himself, and it has retained that name ever since. Over the years, Wrigley Field underwent several renovations and expansions. In the 1920s, the grandstand was expanded and a new double-decked bleacher section was added. The iconic brick wall and ivy-covered outfield were also introduced during this period. Wrigley Field was one of the last MLB stadiums to install lights for night games. Night games were introduced at Wrigley Field on August 8, 1988, ending the era of daytime-only baseball at the stadium. Wrigley Field has witnessed numerous historic moments in baseball. In 1932, Babe Ruth famously called his shot and hit a home run during the World Series against the Cubs. The stadium has hosted multiple All-Star games, playoff games, and the World Series. The most notable project was the multi-year restoration and expansion plan known as the 1060 Project. It involved structural enhancements, new amenities, expanded concourses, and the addition of the adjacent park at Wrigley, featuring shops, restaurants, and an outdoor plaza. In 1987, Wrigley Field was designated a Chicago landmark by the City of Chicago, recognizing its architectural and historical significance. Wrigley Field is renowned for its unique features, including the hand-operated scoreboard, the rooftop bleachers across the street, and the tradition of throwing back the opposing team's home run balls. It is considered one of the most iconic and beloved ballparks in all of sports. One of the most famous legends associated with Wrigley Field is the curse of the Billy Goat. In 1945, a local tavern owner named Billy Sonnies was asked to leave a World Series game between the Cubs and the Detroit Tigers because he brought his pet goat, Murphy, with him. Angered by the incident, Sonnies allegedly cursed the Cubs, saying they would never win a World Series again. The curse persisted for 71 years until the Cubs finally won the World Series in 2016. During the seventh-inning stretch, it has become a tradition at Wrigley Field for the crowd to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." This practice began in 1981 when then Chicago White Sox announcer Harry Caray, a beloved figure in Chicago sports, led the crowd in singing the song during a Cubs game. Since then, celebrities, athletes, and fans have continued the tradition, with guest conductors leading the singing. In addition to baseball games, Wrigley Field has hosted other events over the years. It has been used for concerts, college football games, soccer matches, and even an NHL Winter Classic outdoor hockey game in 2009. These events have showcased the versatility of the stadium beyond its primary use as a baseball venue. Wrigley Field's historic charm and architectural elements have been carefully preserved throughout its existence. The ivy-covered outfield wall's manually operated scoreboard, and the iconic red marquee at the entrance are all cherished features that contribute to the stadium's nostalgic ambience. The neighborhood surrounding Wrigley Field, known as Wrigleyville, has developed into a vibrant area with numerous bars, restaurants, and shops. On game days, the streets come alive with fans, creating a festive atmosphere that extends beyond the confines of the ballpark. The ongoing renovation efforts at Wrigley Field continue to shape its future. The Cubs organization has expressed a commitment to maintaining the stadium's historic character while modernizing the facilities to enhance the fan experience. The most recent renovations have included the addition of premium seating options, improved player facilities, and enhanced accessibility features. Wrigley Field has served as the heart of Chicago Cubs baseball for over a century, and its rich history and enduring charm continue to captivate fans from around the world.